Hi everyone, welcome to another webisode of The Good Doctor on eZeLiving.com. Today I'm in the company of Maya Kabesi. She's a nutritionist from Dr. Humaira Badsha Medical Center. Today's topic of conversation, Maya, is about food intolerance and how it relates to arthritis. So, first of all, can you explain to me what is food intolerance?
People often confuse food intolerance with food allergies. They're completely different. And the reason why they confuse it, because they have very similar symptoms. Now the difference between the food allergies and the food intolerance is that with the food allergies, we get immediate symptoms. So, and it's usually self-diagnosed, because after eating one food, we get the symptoms right away. And the symptoms are usually more serious and more dangerous than the symptoms of food intolerances.
So if I eat, let's say, walnuts or
nuts or eggs or milk or fish.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then will I immediately see it on my skin, or?
This is an allergic reaction, yes.
So this is
the
a
rash,
food allergy.
Sometimes it could get more dangerous and it can get more serious.
Because like shortness of breath or fear, like suffocating?
Exactly, the anaphylaxis.
What would cause that?
With the allergic reaction, the immune system is involved. So it affects many organs. Right. And that's the difference between allergy and intolerance. That's why you feel the difficulty of breathing, sometimes more serious to low blood pressure also sometimes.
So people who want to know, which one is more threatening?
Allergies.
Allergies, because it's immediate and it will strike one of your vital organs, and you'll basically be able to see your body reacting to the food that you've consumed.
Food intolerance is different, because it's more difficult to detect food intolerances, and symptoms usually appear 24 to 72 hours after eating the food. So it's difficult to do the link between what you eat and the symptoms you're having. That's why we ask the patient to fill a food diary, to make a food diary of what he's eating every day, and so we can make the link between the symptoms and the food. So it's more difficult to...
Food intolerance is not as visible as an allergy. And like you said, it's a prolonged process. But how can we find out that we're intolerant?
We can get symptoms like rash. Sometimes the symptoms are very similar to the allergy symptoms, like a rash, bloatings, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, this type of symptoms. So it's mainly affecting the digestive system. Right. And not the organs, like in the case of allergies. Many factors can lead to food intolerances. Right. So the etiology is still unknown, but we think that some factors like low stomach acidity or alcohol, medication like steroids, they can promote bad bacteria.
They contribute.
Yes, poor diet.
Right.
That has a very low level of nutrients, a lack of pancreatic enzymes to digest the food also.
Does the food that we eat also have a role? So if bread, I consume bread, would I detect or be able to see over time if I'm allergic to it? Or if I'm intolerant to it?
It depends if you have the symptoms. If you eat bread and you feel that you have the symptoms are coming back every time you're eating bread or something, because bread contains gluten, so you might be intolerant to gluten.
Right.
So finding out whether you're intolerant or not is a long process.
How do we do that?
That's what we do with the arthritis patient. Exactly, because many arthritis patients are intolerant to certain foods. But the mechanism by which the food intolerance is involved in arthritis, it remains unknown. So we don't know the etiology yet, but we think it's some studies, some evidences implicates the gut flora. So like I said, when we talked about the factors, the low stomach acidity, the medication, and the alcohol or the enzymes, these factors affect the barrier of the digestive system. So what happens with the arthritis patient, they use drugs like steroids and NSAIDs, anti-inflammatory type of medication, and these medication, they can make your gut leaky and more permeable, so the larger molecules will pass through your barrier than would usually be the case normally.
So if someone has arthritis, first of all, for our viewers, and this is something that I just found out, you know, whenever I hear the word arthritis, I think someone in their 70s, the joints and the bones have swollen. But it's not the case, is it? We can get arthritis as young as
juvenile arthritis.
Juvenile
yes.
arthritis. So what are we talking about? Teenager?
No, children, young children.
Children.
Also, yes.
So arthritis is not something that happens to us in older age. It can happen to younger people as well. So what you're explaining is that we can get food intolerance. So we can get intolerance as a result of the medication that's being used in arthritis patients? Because
the medication makes the gut leaky.
Right.
So the food pass through, larger molecules of food will pass through the barrier.
So what do we need to do in order to help patients with arthritis?
What we can do is we can, first of all, remove the food, the suspected food, and then we replace by something else. Whenever we remove a food, we have to replace it by something else, so we don't leave the body deficient in any vitamin or mineral. Once we remove, we see if the symptoms resolve, we reintroduce. We call it re-challenge. So it's 4 R's: remove, replace, re-challenge, and then re-rotate at the end.
Right.
So the re-challenge, reintroduce the food. If the symptoms comes back, we try to avoid it for a longer period of time. So it can be between 0 to 6 months, and sometimes up to 12 months, 1 year.
Okay.
And once we reintroduce the food and we see that the symptoms the symptoms didn't come back and everything is going well, we can rotate. So the rotation is the key to maintain a healthy digestive barrier.
Okay.
And eating a variety of food. So when we rotate, we eat a variety of food. We don't eat the same thing every day. And the reason the food intolerance are on the rise is because our diet is lacking variety. We eat the same thing in the morning, we have the same snacks, we go to the same restaurants, we order the same food. So this routine and in the diet is what making us more intolerant to certain food.
Thank you very much for this information. If you guys have any question or comments about food intolerance or arthritis or any other illnesses that you feel relates to this topic of conversation and you'd like Maya to answer, please let us know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching The Good Doctor on eZeLiving.com, where you can find anything and everything lifestyle.